Hello guys, in today's video I'm going to discuss the key difference between two commands in SQL Server, that is truncate versus delete. So in one sentence, both the commands delete the rows in a table, but there are some key differences between these two commands, and we need to know that to decide which command to use in what scenario. Let's go to an example. So I have a table here in the called book, and I have a database bookstore, and it's a very simple table. I have 6 records in this book. Now if I want to delete all the rows in this table, I can use either of these two commands, either delete or truncate. Now I'm going to talk about two key differences between these two commands. So when you delete a table, so it deletes all the records, but it keeps the transaction log. The SQL Server keeps a transaction log of all the records that has been deleted. Whereas when you truncate a table, it also deletes all the rows, but the SQL Server doesn't keep any transaction log. Let's show you live. So for this table, say I'm trying to delete this. So delete from book. But before doing that, let me show you how the transaction log looks like. So I have a select command which selects all the records from the transaction log, where the operation is delete rows. So this will basically select all the commands that has been run to delete rows in different tables. So right now I only have one table, and I have run some delete before there, so there are some logs you can see. So if you see, currently there are 13 rows it returns. That means I deleted few times some rows in the table, so that's why I created this log. Now at this point, if I delete, as I have shown you, there are 6 more records in my book table, and if I want to delete this, it deletes the 6 records. And if you go to the transaction log, run this select command again, you see it becomes 19. So 13 plus 6, 19. So it added 6 more log that I had for the 6 records that I had deleted. Now the reason SQL Server does that, to keep a log of all the activity that we do, so that if we want to roll back our command, so if I decide, okay, I accidentally deleted it, I want to get back all my records, that's how SQL Server retrieve or recover all the records that we have deleted. So it goes to the transaction log and it rolls it back. But now I'll show you now what truncate do. But when you do a truncate, it doesn't keep any log of what you have deleted. So I have an insert to insert all the 6 rows again. So this will add back all those 6 rows again. Now if I do a truncate now, the command is truncate table and the name of the table. So now I truncate the table. Now you see I don't have any rows left. Now if I go to the transaction log, see, still there are 19 rows, so there's no log created. And so the one key difference here you found, since there is no log, so when you use the delete command, there is a possibility, or there's a chance that you can roll back your transaction, and SQL Server does that by reading the transaction log. But if you truncate, then there's no chance to get back all your records that you have deleted. So this is a very big difference, because anytime you try to use a truncate, you have to be very sure that there's no chance, or there's no way that you will be able to recover the delete that you have done. Now what is the benefit of using truncate in this case? You might be thinking, okay, then let's always use delete so that we have the options to recover or roll back. But the problem is, because SQL Server are writing all these logs for the delete, the the time it takes to delete is more than when you use a truncate command. So when you truncate a table, it's very fast, and the reason is that it doesn't have to write all this log, and it's very fast. And now I'm just showing you an example with 6 records, but think about a table who has like hundreds and thousands of records, or sometimes millions of records, and you want to get rid of the table or delete all the rows. Then if you run a delete, then it takes a lot of time. Rather, if you truncate, it's very fast, it can delete it. So that's the reason, that's the benefit of using truncate when you have a big chunk of data that you want to delete. So another key difference between delete and truncate is, in the delete command you can put some conditions. For example, you want to for example, if I run this insert again, so it has inserted all these 6 rows. Now for example, you want to only delete rows where the price is, say, more than $40. So that you can do using delete, because when you delete from book where the price is greater than 40. So see, this has only deleted 4 rows. Now all these conditions that you put in the where, you can do it using delete, but when you do a truncate, you cannot put any conditions. It's like all or none. So that's another benefit of using a delete. So I hope this video will help you. If you have any question, please leave a comment. Thank you.